Hello students, so let us understand arrays in Java. In this video, we will understand how one-dimensional as well as two-dimensional arrays are used and implemented in Java program. In Java, the arrays are always dynamic. We had seen how arrays work in C and C++. There we knew that arrays can be static as well as dynamic. But in Java, we have always a dynamic array. That means the arrays can be created with new keyword always. Suppose I need to create an array. We write it like this. We use double square brackets followed by the name of the array, like AR is equal to new, followed by the name and the type of the array that I want to create. This int specifies that all the elements of this array will be of integer type. And there is one lesson and one rule with the arrays is that all arrays are homogeneous, means every element of the array will be of the similar type. Now here in this square brackets, we need to specify the size. We need to specify the size here only, like 10. So what exactly do we mean by this statement? This int is the type of an array. Why it is an array? This is because it is followed by a square brackets followed by the name of an array is equal to array is created using new always, then followed by the int the same type, and then inside the square brackets you need to type in the size of an array. Now you can relate this string component, which was the part of an argument of main function. You can relate these two statements. So here, as I have created an array of integer type, you can see that in main this AR is an argument of string type. So as we are using two arguments of the same name, it will never be allowed. So we need to change the type of this array. Let us change it to ARR. So this is a string array. This is an integer array. So how to use it? The second important rule for this array is that the array elements can be accessed using their indexes. So what an index is? Like I want to check out the first element. So it can be accessed by typing 0 in square brackets. So a of 0 is equal to 1 means I have initialized the first element of it array is equal to 1. Likewise, I can go on to initialize all the elements. So why not we use a for loop in order to initialize every element inside Java. So let us use a for loop. I starts from 0, I less than 10. Why I have used I less than 10? Because the last index of an array will be 9 in case the element size is 10. So we will have all the elements starting from A0 to A9, and let us initialize them to AI into I. Let us check what do we mean by this, and once we initialize this array, let us actually print it. After this, what I do is I use system.out.println and try to print this array. So the first for loop, this is going to initialize the array. The second for loop is going to print all the elements. Let us run this program to have the output. This error is due to the name of an error. I have used the array name as ARR. So it should be like this. Let us run this. As you can see, every element of an array is a square of the first 10 numbers, starting from 0, 1, 2, this is 3 square, this is 4 square, this is 5 square, this is 6 squares. So what I've used, I've tried to store the square of every element, the first n elements into the array. So this is how we make use of array inside a program. Let us see how a two-dimensional array is constructed. A two-dimensional array is constructed using two square brackets. The first square bracket goes on to describe the row element. The second square bracket goes on to describe the column element. And now here, after new, what we need to pass on, the first element inside the row element. Suppose I want to create a matrix of 3 cross 3. So we can do it like this. So in case I initialize the array like this, or the rows are 3, the columns are 3. Let us see whether it allows or not. It's very well done. And now that we can make use of this 3 cross 3 array. So as this array ARR is a two-dimensional array because it will be needing 2 indexes in order to access every element. Now let us see how this matrix actually functions. This will be a table of 3 and 3. So that means there will be 3 rows and 3 columns. This index will be, suppose I give it as I. This index I will name it as j. So the first row is named as 0, the second row is 1, the third row is 2. So these are the 3 values that I will be assigning to I, and j will be 0 for first column, 1 for second column, and 2 for the next column. So let us see how each element is accessed. We will be accessing each element by 2 indexes like a, I, j. We will vary I from 0 to 2 and j from 0 to 2, and in this case we will be able to initialize as well as access each and every element within this array. Let us see how it is done. We'll be using 2 for loops, in this case one outer loop and one inner loop. For integer j is equal to 0, j less than 3, and j plus plus. Let us initialize aij. How it is initialized? What I want to do is I want to initialize it with, suppose I want to initialize it with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. That means I need a value that is actually implemented inside this for loop every time. So I'll make use of another variable which is initialized every time and incremented every time, rather, once we are inside the for loop. Like I take x is equal to 1, and here what I do is I make use of x plus plus. So if aij is equal to x plus plus, so this x is incremented every time this iteration is used. As you can see this, for each I, this j loop executes. So that means we have initialized I as 0, and this j loop executes for each I. So once I is 0, j varies from 0, 1, 2. So we are actually writing the elements here 1, 2, 3, and then once I moves on to 1, j again moves on to 0, 1, 2. So for these 3 elements are initialized, and third time when I enter this j loop, when I was 2, j varies from 0, 1, 2, and I'll writing 7, 8, 9 here. So let us see its structure and output. So in this loop we are initializing, and I'll use another for loop to just print the element so that we may know exactly that this loop is working fine. Let us print all these elements. Now because I need to print all the elements in one line, so I can make use of print statement 2. And once I have printed 3 elements and come out of this J loop, I can give a plain line break. How a line break is given in Java, it is written like system.out.println simply. So this way you will be able to print all the elements in a single way. You can also have a space by doing this. So let us see how this actually happens. Save the program, run it. Change the name of array. And this is run. So as you can see, the same output that I have just demonstrated, you are able to see it from my program. So this way you can handle matrices. A single change in this loop, what we can do is a change of logic. I can write the elements like column wise too. So how can I process this two-dimensional array using a column wise fashion? So this matrix is basically that the way we are using it is called as row measure matrix. And in this video I'll also tell you how can I make this matrix as a column measure matrix. Well, there is just one change that I need to do, that the first index that I use as to access every element is j. So what will happen exactly? If I interchange these two indexes, what will exactly happen? As you can see that this j loop, the j element exactly works fine. This I will be 0 in every case. So what exactly I am doing is that I am accessing A00 first time, then A10 second time, then A20 third time, using this notation, because this is right now my j and this is now my I. So I is stationary for this complete j loop, and what I am doing is A00 is this element, and this is A10 is this element, A20 is this element. So this way I can access this matrix in a column measure way. So once I actually do it, let us see the output, how it makes an effect. Let us save this program and let's run. As you can see now, the elements are stored in a column measure way. So this is just a logical representation of how a matrix can be actually accessed or implemented in a column measure way or a row measure way. So thank you very much for this video. We'll meet in the next video.